Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, and so this is a bonus reading for Cancer. And our card tonight is the Knight of Wands. Okay, let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. So I see 2 pigs here. 3 pigs, it looks like, actually. We have one right here. You can see the kind of snoot. The eye, it's kind of looking this way. And then we have one right here. You can see the 2 eyes. And then the nose. And that's the whole head. And then right down here, if we pull this out, you can see the ear, the eyes. Here's the nose and the face kind of rounded there. So we have a pack of pigs. We have I don't know, what are they called? A little herd of pigs, or I don't know. But I do also see that we have, it looks like a coyote or fox, maybe a coyote. 2 ears. No, a fox. I think it looks more, I don't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. It does matter, but I'm going to read it as a fox because it kind of has a smaller face. But the 2 eyes, the nose, the ears. So I feel like when the pigs are in a group like this, that's always interesting because I feel like pigs have like a real strong sense of family and connectedness. And they're just such hardy and strong beings. They're also very intelligent. So, I feel like this is a time where, you are kind of feeling like maybe a little sentimental, a little more emotionally open and connected with the people in your life that you care about. I'm also seeing we have an eye right here and we have an eye up here. You can see this one and this one, okay? So, I think in this connection, there's a real sense of like your people having your back, right? And I feel that there is somebody kind of lingering around in your life somewhere that kind of is like throwing that evil eye towards you. And I feel like this comes from a place of jealousy, definitely. And I feel that probably in this last couple of years, especially this last year, you've really started doing pretty well for yourself. And now this might not be financial, but it could be, right? Hopefully. But I think it's like you've turned your life around in a way that people did not expect from you. Not that your life was terrible before, but I think that you kind of just seemed like, to other people anyways, that you were pretty okay with just kind of going along to get along, right? You just kind of were, doing the stuff that you had to do to kind of make some money and acquire some of the things that you had wanted in life and maintain those things. And outside of that, maybe you had some pleasures and interests and hobbies and things that you were you know, spending your time with. But, you know, not necessarily anything that people took note of. And that's not to like knock you at all. You know, I think most Cancer people are like the most interesting people because you have such kind of refined interests, and you spend a lot of time in your own little worlds doing your own thing. And, you know, most people look at it from the outside and think, okay, they just kind of are maybe a loner, or they just kind of, they're not really like involved in a lot, but they don't know. They don't understand that you have a whole universe going on. But I do think that, you know, in a way that other people can really recognize this period of time, you've been doing really well. And I think probably it could be like with work, it could be with like your creative endeavors, like if you're you know, an artist of some kind, maybe you're showing and selling some work, or you know, you are mastering you know, your skill set, and you're innovative and productive and all these things. And so I think that really, you know, although everybody is happy for you, I think that, you know, somebody in the family who maybe was kind of feeling like they were the ones that were pretty impressive, they've kind of been, you know, lapped a little bit. And so I think this is kind of like that classic situation when the golden child kind of, you know, their shine is not so bright right now. And that's because you're really excelling in the things that you're doing. It is quite impressive, and not that you care if anybody is noticing, but it feels good, right? Doesn't it? And so, yeah, I could see that there's maybe that kind of jealous and spiteful energy. So definitely I would say, you know, do some kind of cleansing, have whatever kind of talisman or sigil, or you know, kind of a symbol, or, you know, whatever it is you do. I would clean, declutter the house, clean places out, get the energies moving, open your windows, you know, clean with smoke if that's, or bells, or, you know, chanting, or whatever it is that you do. Okay. Also, I would suggest, you don't have to do this, but I am, you know, quite superstitious, and I do partake in some magic, maybe. But making a prayer, okay, on a little piece of paper, and putting it in your pillow, maybe or under your bed, in your mattress, or not in your mattress, but like between the sheet and the mattress, or wherever it feels comfortable. A prayer for yourself, and a prayer for the person who is maybe kind of throwing some hex your way. We meet this kind of energy with doing better, right? When there's somebody who is hurting in some way, the illusion is broken for them that it's painful. And, you know, people mostly are not good at how they react to things, how they cope with things. I would say most of us have our bad days, right? So I think it's important that we meet this energy, and you don't have to do it in the waking world, right? You don't have to go and talk to them about it necessarily, unless you feel comfortable doing that. But I think it's important that we lift them in prayer, right? Sending them that love, okay? Because I do think it is somebody you love. So, you know, these things happen, and we don't think too much of it, right? And we forgive our people of sometimes, you know, the ill behavior, especially if it's just like, you know, they're number one, right? You can't be number one. How dare you? All right, so let's keep looking. Oh, we do have a little smiley face. Look at that right here. That looks like a real chill dude right there. Just kidding. So we have that, and we have, it looks like a person standing here. We have a person standing here. And maybe even somebody over here. So we have 3 people. We have 3 people. And we have somebody, it looks like doing maybe a blessing. I don't know. We have 6, 8, 4. It also looks like the trine. We have 1, 2, 12. 6, 8, 4, and 12. We have a cross right there. We also have the serpent. And we have Cancer over here, which that's pretty cool. So I feel like there is a sense of kind of shifting moods. And I feel this as distinct moods that you have. I think that you're trying to really get into this like middle place of like, I'm just trying to chill, right? But I do feel like these other kind of a little bit of anger sometimes, frustration. We have this kind of more bacchanalian, Dionysus kind of character over here. So maybe a little bit more merriment and joyous. And then down here we have this one, and this one almost seems like the Fool to me. So also kind of, in a way, I think just avoidance, right? Just through totally disengaging. And I feel like, you know, it's a time of great emotional kind of feelings and passion and desire and maybe feeling a little bit let down at times and prone to some melancholy. And maybe, yeah, sometimes it's like you just absolutely are just so irritated by things, and you just want to do what you want to do, and not be interrupted or anything. And that anger kind of comes up there. But I think that ultimately you're doing a really good job at trying to manage like these parts of self, you know, not totally stuffing them away into that like shadowy place that does become the shadow. You are allowing yourself to feel how you feel, but you are not getting lost in it. Okay, I think that there's a real mindful energy here. And I do feel like this is a place where your relationship with the divine opens up. And I do feel like there is this kind of call to faith for you. You know, and I don't think it necessarily has to be religious, obviously. It could be religious, but this is spiritual. This is, you know, personal belief and the virtues and tenets of your life. It doesn't have to belong to any system. It doesn't have to be, you know, beyond logic or reason or anything like that either. But I do feel like you are in a place of meaning, and that is really like just filling you with this ability to be all the things, right? And be at peace with that. I think of, you know, the real integration and activation of the archetypes in your life. And instead of, you know, coming down on yourself with this great judgment, it is kind of like, yeah, I'm feeling how I feel. And I, you know, maybe have the instinct to react in such a way, but I'm going to notice that, and I'm going to allow myself to, you know, do what I need to do. But I'm also not going to do it blindly, right? I'm not going to just let it overtake me and get lost in those feelings and reactions. So, you know, I think this is a really powerful time for you. The self-development is astounding. And it seems like it would make, I mean, it does. It makes sense. It would go along with you doing well in your mundane life, which is your daily life, right? In the material world. So these two things, yeah, they make sense. They go hand in hand, definitely. And now I'm going to take a look over here. We have a rabbit, we have a deer, we have a goddess, we have Diana. I almost wonder if we have somebody named Ginny or Janny. Maybe it could be Jimmy. But it starts with a J, ends with a Y. Some vowel and letters in there. Something. But it does, it almost feels like Ginny, like Janny. I know that's not really a common way to say Jan or Janet, but Janny. Or Jimmy, possibly. We also have the owl. So there is a sense of... in the eye as well. Yeah, so kind of like really watching, the watcher in your life. And I wonder if this is somebody who has transitioned and they kind of are coming through and saying, hey, I'm watching over you. But it could also be that you are watching over them. Okay, and this is being recognized here. So maybe you take care of them, or this is somebody that you kind of, you know, interact with on a regular basis, because you look after them. You want to know how they're doing. You keep up with them. Then we have the deer, right? We have Diana, the goddess of the hunt or the forest. And so we have that lunar energy there. If you can imagine being out running through the field, into the trees, into the foliage, and it's night, and the only thing you have is the moon, right? And you're hot on the trail of a deer or pig, you know, something that's out there. One of those those invasive boars or pigs that are taking over, you know, whatever. But I feel that there's this connection to the earth element. I feel like this is a time where, yeah, maybe you are on the night side a little bit. Maybe you do find yourself maybe going for walks in the evening. Maybe you like to sit out and look at the stars. You know, just kind of listen to the sounds of the world around you as it gets darker and darker yet. And you feel alive and you feel awake. You know, the beautiful time where things slow down a little bit, and people usually will not call you. You know, no interruptions from the outside world, and a sense of peace here, a real sense of being able to kind of let your hair down and breathe and just kind of get lost in that night, in the cover of the evening. But I also think that there is this feeling of, and we have on this side too, a snail, and this feeling of needing some rest, you know, needing a little bit of rest, going a little slower. Maybe it is that now the spring is here, and it's also the fall in the southern hemisphere. So there can be a real feeling of wanting to enjoy the reprieve of the cold or the heat, and trying to, you know, fit it all in, stay busy doing things, and kind of an elation in that. But I think this is a reminder that you have to make sure that you're keeping up with your, you know, healthy sleep routine, and making sure you're getting restful sleep, and dreaming, hopefully. And the dreaming comes in for me too, because we have this candle over here. And so I feel that, you know, this is a time where in those dream realms, we have that lunar energy. In the dream realms, you are getting a lot of information, spiritual downloads. Is it downloads or uploads? I always forget that that term, the kind of new agey term. Those things coming through, getting a lot of information, getting quite an education in your dream realm, having visitations, communing with the daemon, not demon, daemon. Daemon is higher self, the guardian angel, the divine, and so on. So it's important that you are allowing yourself the deep sleep, allowing yourself to get a full night's sleep, and trying not to do that too disturbed, right? Even though, yeah, you are kind of, I feel like, well, maybe you sleep during the day, you know. I forget what that's like. I miss that. The other day, I fell asleep on the couch when I was sick, and I was like, oh, I could do this every day. It would be nice. My daughter would not. The moment you start to drift off, it's, Mommy, what are you doing? So anyways, yeah, but getting the sleep, allowing yourself the dreams, because that is the gateway there, right? That's the place. So yes. I think it's a beautiful, potent time for you. Oh, and we have the peacock. Right here you can see the feet, the body, and the long featherage, I don't know. The foliage of the bird. And so we have the peacock. So that always relates to Juno for me. So this is a mother archetype, mother deity, goddess. And so there is this sense of, reminding you to care for yourself. You are beautiful. You are outstanding. You are so impressive, talented, clever, funny, beautiful, all of the things. But you have to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're upkeeping your routines as much as you can. And allowing yourself to, not only just for sleep, but a reprieve from the busyness of life, okay? A little moments of leisure and nonsense, right? Frivolous activities. All right, let's see. We have the Indigo Sage affirmation cards, and these are the air element. And I'm going to go ahead and we will flip through. Stop where it feels right. Ooh, we have a peach. Look at that. I cannot wait for nectarines are my thing. I like nectarines a lot. So I can't wait for those. Okay, so we have reciprocity. I think that's how you say it. Oh my goodness. If you've watched the channel, you know I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And we have music of plants. Cease trying to conjure. Surrender the old and play your part in freshness. Surrender the old and play your part in freshness. Yeah, I like that. Cease trying to conjure. Music of the Plants reminds me of that Mort Garrison album, Plantasia. If you've never heard that, go check it out. It's beautiful. It is music for your plants, and it's a gorgeous album. So, yeah, I guess that's it, Cancer. I'm going to let you know I love you because I do. And I want to thank you for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. And I'm asking everybody, all the signs. I'm getting my garden, or I'm planning my garden. I'm getting all my plans set, deciding what I will be planting this year. We have a small window of a grow season where I live, and gardening is one of the loves of my life. It really is. So I'm always interested to hear if anybody has any tips. I want to hear about your flowers. I want to hear about your vegetables. I want to hear about your fruits, your herbs, all the things. I could talk about it for the rest of my life. I would be totally cool with that. Yeah, so I just, when you meet another gardener, it's always such a blessing because we are passionate about what we do, right? And it is a most holy and divine place. It is a place that transports you. And so when you meet somebody who is also a fellow traveler, you could talk forever about it. So I'd love to hear. What do you have to say? Put it in the comments. And yeah, I guess other than that, I'm just going to tell you again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a couple of days from now. Good night. Good night. Good night.